Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I've learned as I've grown into the person that I am today. And today I'm going to do a short little meditation video over here. I have two different meditations. I'm going to read one and then talk about it. These are two that I haven't read today, so two. That's 7. But anyway, no, these are two that I haven't read today, so I'm going to read them and just kind of give my thoughts like I usually do over here. And yeah, so should we see which one I pick first? 1, 2, 3. Okay. We're going to read today from the Daily Book of Positive Quotations by Linda Picone. Today is the 28th of May. Achievement and success. My mother drew a distinction between achievement and success. She said that achievement is the knowledge that you have studied and worked hard and done the best that is in you. Success is being praised by others. That is nice, but not as important or satisfying. Always aim for achievement and forget about success. Helen Hayes, the actress. We enjoy it when our work is recognized by others. Our boss tells us we've done a good job. Our friends are impressed by something we've just shown them. A teacher praises an essay we've written. This kind of recognition helps motivate us, as any good teacher, parent, or boss knows. But when we do our best, whether recognized by others or not, the feeling is better than any compliment or collection of gold stars. I celebrate my own work when I know I've achieved my best. What an interesting meditation, you know? I was talking about it in a video that I did earlier today. It was like a Q&A that I did for my Peter Monn channel that I'm going to be posting tomorrow. I talked on there about the fact that validation and acceptance feels really good to me because for much of my life, where the foundation of my life was built, I wasn't really liked by others when I was growing up and I was a little kid, you know? And so for me today, like, validation and acceptance still feels really, really nice. And, you know, I think that when we do something and other people recognize it in a positive way, it always feels good, right? But when I think about my, I would say my successes or my achievements in my life, the ones that mean the most to me, I think you can kind of track it because it's like when somebody says something like congratulations to you, like this is going to sound really kind of like cocky and arrogant, and I don't mean it that way at all, but I think you'll know what I mean if you think of an example in your own life. It's something that you've done that you yourself are proud of, or you know is an achievement, but when other people recognize it, it really doesn't mean anything to you when they do it. Does that make sense? Like, it's almost kind of like embarrassing when they do because you're so proud of what you did yourself that it really has nothing to do with that. So, for example, in my life, my sobriety is something that I did for me. Like, that's for me. It's the foundation of my life. It's where I get everything in my life, you know, like it all stems from that. If I didn't have my sobriety, I wouldn't have anything else in my life. I wouldn't have my relationships. I wouldn't have my relationship with my husband. I wouldn't have my family. I wouldn't have anything, you know? So that's at the top of it. So when people say to me things like congratulations on 24 years or, you know, like, oh my God, that's so cool, you know, whatever, like that, I appreciate that. Like, that is nice, but it doesn't really mean anything to me because I do it for myself. And I don't know if that resonates with anybody else. I think you guys know what I'm talking about, you know? Similarly, my book is the same way that I wrote. I've gotten like so many, it means more to me now when people say it because I think that like it's been now 5 years almost since I wrote the book. But you know, at the time that I wrote it, I can remember sitting here and every night I would write it and, you know, Pee-Pee would lay over here on the chair by me and, you know, I would take him out several times a night, take the dogs out, and we would like look at the stars and I would talk to him and I would drive around, you know, and think about it. And it was this thing that I was so excited that I was doing that I couldn't even believe that it was going to be published and whatever, you know, I was so excited about it that I remember the night that I finished writing it. And I actually, like, before I started the book, I wrote the ending of it. So I wrote the very end of it before I started the whole book because I wanted to know how it was going to end. And I edited it. I mean, obviously the ending that's there is not the exact ending as it happened when I first wrote it. But I remember, like, so it kind of stemmed organically from an outline that I had written. But I remember when I wrote that last page and I finished it, right? And I just kind of stopped. And, you know, like at that point, my mom had, you know, been passed. I wrote it in 2014, so it had been 6 years. And I remember, like, I walked outside and I was standing outside, you know, taking Pee-Pee outside. And I remember I kind of just looked up and I said to myself, Mom, I wrote a book. You know, like, it just was so surreal. It was something that I dreamed of my entire life, that I would not publish a book, not sell 1 million copies, not be on the New York Times bestseller list, but that I would write a book, that I would complete a book. That moment that I felt in that moment, you know? And I think it moves me to tears because out of everything in my life that I wanted to share with my mom other than my sobriety, that would have been the one thing that I would have loved to have shared, and my husband, obviously. But that would have been the thing that she would have really thought was really cool, you know? And I remember just having this feeling of just absolute joy. I don't always get emotional out of sadness. I get emotional out of joy as well. And I just remember having this like immense joy that like, damn it, I did that, you know? Like I did that. Like I wrote the words, I came up with the characters, like I did that. No matter if it's great, no matter if it's crap, no matter if it's the worst piece of book out there, literature, whatever you want to call it, like I did that, you know? So today, when people compliment me on there and they're like, I love the story that you wrote, or thank you so much for your book. And recently somebody wrote me and they said that they were actually doing a dissertation or a college like thing on master's level thing on coming out books. And she was using my book as one of them. And I was like, oh my God, what an honor, you know? So yes, it means a lot to me. But not comparable to the night that I actually finished writing the book and I knew I was done. And I was like, damn, you know? And I think that that is what she's talking about in that quote. And that you have to differentiate why you're doing things and like, what's your motive? Is your motive because you want the praise of other people? You know, or is the motive, and that's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. We all like praise. We all like validation. We all like acceptance. Well, most of us, I would say, I do. I'm not a BS artist. It feels good. It feels good when somebody says like, oh my God, this, or oh my God. I mean, I like that. It makes me feel good, you know? But then what are the things that you do to truly meet those needs in your heart and in your soul that make you the happiest? Those are your achievements, you know? That would be education. That would be academics. That would be career things. That could be, you know, getting a promotion at work. That could be, you know, like, I don't know, building your dream house, or having the garden that you always wanted, or taking this trip that you've saved all your money for to go on, or getting your kid graduated from high school. Like, you know, I know right now is a time when that's happening for a lot of people. And, you know, I have so many friends of mine, they're just like, I can't believe that they're like graduating, you know? And I remember when my friend Tanya's son graduated from high school. It's so surreal. He's almost done with college now, and he's been in the Marines and everything. He's such a cool young man. But I remember we were sitting outside at our house, like after everything, and she said, like, it got me kind of scared because she said, you know, I could drink now if I wanted to. And I go, what? She goes, I'm not going to. She goes, I'm not going to, but I stayed sober for so long for my kid, you know? And she goes, I did my job. I raised my kid. And I said, you raised a really great kid, you know? Like, that achievement. No matter what somebody says to you, like, you have the greatest kid in the entire world, or you did such a great job, or you're such a good parent, it's like, you know, right? You know deep down inside that you did that. And so I think it's really about knowing our own achievements. And the difference between, I think, arrogance and humility is knowing that deep inside, being proud of that, but not needing to show that to the world necessarily. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think there's always insight about the question of checking your motives. You know, every sponsor I've ever had in my sobriety has always said to me, check your motives, check your motives. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about that meditation. I love you. God, I don't know why I got so emotional. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.